Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, I watched this video with Poetik Flakko. He was going at Corey Holcomb, who we know is a comedian. Poetik Flakko took certain things that Corey Holcomb said out his mouth and he analyzed it. I'm going to break that down and we're going to play this video because I want to know what y'all think about this. All right? It is Unique Mecca Audio, man. I'm here. We're going to play this joint here, and this is going to be a little disturbing. Certain things that's going to be said, so I'm letting that be known. So if there's any children in the room, please get them out the room for this. This is a serious topic. I had to react to it and respond to it, and I'm just going to give my opinion. I'm not taking sides. I'm not on Poetik Flakko's side. I'm not on Corey Holcomb's side. I want y'all to put in the comments what you think about what's being said and how you feel about it. And then I'm going to break it down how I think all this came about. All right, let's ride.
Pussy, that's the best put. Well, I'm saying, please keep this piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a.
Hey, yo, right there, no disrespect. That's why I'm not gonna give my opinion or my, on this topic, because from Corey Holcomb saying that, that's gonna tell what it is, because that was an invite to the federal government to come look in his server. So we already know that's the next step. So we'll see if these was just jokes or if this was Corey Holcomb, you know what I mean? Twisted mentality, which I don't think so. I think he's an excellent comedian. I just looked at him as funny, and me, myself, I looked at these as jokes, but I don't think they was funny to me where I'm standing or sitting, because I have a 13-year-old granddaughter, and certain things that's being said, I wouldn't want to even phantom somebody thinking this about my 13-year-old granddaughter. Anybody. Again, I'm going to take Corey Holcomb out of this so you don't think that I'm bashing Corey Holcomb, because that's not what I'm doing. Corey Holcomb is a comedian. Let's get that straight. All right?
Corey Holcomb's career might be over after these new allegations. They are accusing Corey Holcomb of being a PDF, and the receipts are going mega viral and gaining a lot of steam. It feels like the more these receipts go viral, Corey Holcomb's career might be over, bro. The ending may be near. And the worst part about it all, this damage is self-inflicted. They're just using Corey's own admissions against him. I don't know what Corey was thinking coming on the podcast and admitting to certain things he admitted to, but now the world is watching.
When I was in Iceland, you don't have to be no 18. I think it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
That's a grunt. The vagina been on this planet 14 years. I've said this before on the show also. Do you know if a woman 16 years old gives you a baby, that is going to be 16, 17, 18, 19. That is going to be one of the healthiest babies possible.
First, all right, so right there, right? So Poetik Flakko going to tell you how he took that, and I'm going to tell you how I took that. Corey Holcomb is a comedian. He's telling jokes. I don't think this is a funny joke. I'm going to say it straight up. I don't think it's a funny joke because you're talking about a 13-year-old VV. You know what I mean? So that's not funny. You're not even supposed to be thinking about that as a grown man. Am I right or wrong? Y'all put that in the comments. So for him to say that, then he went up in the age, 16, 17, and so on and so on, that kind of balanced it out and took the sting out of it when the age went up. But when he's talking about 13 and 14-year-old VV is this and that, come on, dog. You know? What do you think about that? Put in the comments.
First red flag was Corey Holcomb knowing the age of consent in various countries. Any man Even having access to that information makes me feel icky. But yet alone a 60-year-old, that's nasty, bruh. Second red flag was him saying, I've said this before. So this is an opinion that he has really thought about, sat with, and dissected, and he still didn't see anything wrong with him saying this.
Right.
Well,
At that age, they've been on the planet long enough. They're in their prime developmental wise to create a life.
Corey has talked about this at length.
Right there, I think that, I hope that he's just trying to make a bad joke a joke.
Before, so every word he says is intentional. When he says they are in their prime to conceive, you don't have to ask Corey, who are they conceiving with? Who are they having a baby with? Only grown men are in a position to take care of a family and lead a household. So this is him advocating for them to have babies with grown men. But what are we doing here, man?
But see, I'm gonna say this before I go any further, right? Because like I said, I'm not picking sides of this. First of all, that's a disgusting joke that I think shouldn't have been told and should never be told again. But at the same time, this is a comedian, and he's just trying to shock you by making up twisted sayings. And this is twisted. Do you agree this is twisted? Put it in the comments. We're sitting here talking about a 13-year-old's VV. Put that in the comments, man. Let's see what else Corey got to say. Let's ride. All right?
You're taught in America something different.
Those eggs are buoyant. You could dribble them eggs.
Hold up. His co-host is feeding into dribbling 13-year-old VV eggs. Do you think that's appropriate? Put it in the comments.
They got bounce back.
Craig Smith is almost 50. Corey Holcomb is almost 60. And they're sitting on a podcast talking about how 14-year-olds have bounce back. Yo, come on, bro. Like, yo, that's absurd. Now, to make things worse, Corey Holcomb went on another podcast and he admitted to testing out the young women in Iceland. Now, the same young women that he claims, were 13, 14 and ready to conceive.
You go to other countries, I'm just saying, in America, most people only know what they know in America, but I've been to other countries, and in Iceland, I think the legal age to get with a girl is 13 years old.
Oh, my God.
Right, it blows people's mind when they hear it. But in Iceland, R. Kelly is not a criminal.
He's trying to get extradited.
He's a normal guy in Iceland. I went to Iceland, and you just can't offer him money and gifts. And I thought that was so unfair that you couldn't give him nothing after you was done with him.
See, right there, that's some sick crap right there, right? Couldn't give a 13-year-old a tip. I think this was just a bad attempt at a joke by Corey Holcomb. I don't want to put him in the, Chomo section. Not just yet. I can't see that because I know he's a comedian and he's telling jokes, and I hear the energy and he has the people hanging on to every word, so he just kept going with it. But it's a bad joke. It's definitely a bad joke, Corey. And I think you need to come out and say that it's a bad joke because I don't see you as a chomo or none of that. So I'm not even saying that. But you did invite them to come look at your server, and you better believe they will be coming. Let's just keep that 100. They will be coming and look at your server because the way Poetik Flakko is painting this picture, it's an accurate picture when you're dealing with the mentality of society. But I won't sit here and agree that that's an actual picture of Corey Holcomb because Corey Holcomb, to me, is a comedian trying to tell a joke, a bad joke, a tasteless joke, they call it. But I don't think that Corey Holcomb is a chomo. I hope he's not, but he did invite them to come look in his server at the beginning, and this is a gangster channel. So we speaking from a gangster's point of view. And gangster to gangster, they're coming because you invited them, and you better believe the federal government takes all call outs. All right?
This too crazy. I'm not going to Iceland. So I assume you've been to Iceland and you took advantage of the laws. Is that what you're saying?
I had a great time in Iceland.
Wait, we're not going to go there. We're not going to.
See, that sounded crazy, but I think he was just being a comedian, adding on to the joke. Say, man, I had a great time in Iceland, just feeding into it. But I can't say, I can't jump on the bandwagon of a comedian telling jokes and then someone dissecting that joke. That's what social media has come to, because Poetik Flakko, I texted him before, told him I wanted to react to his content because I put my number up on the screen, so anybody want to, get at me, they could get at me, because I don't do the snake stuff and none of that. But I like Poetik Flakko's content, but him delivering it like this, I don't know if he like Corey Holcomb. Because in the back of my mind, I still have that Corey Holcomb is a comedian, so it's just him trying to tell a joke that I don't like. Maybe some people like that joke. If you like that type of joke, put it in the comments. I don't like that type of joke, But I believe that it was a joke he was trying to tell.
Age of consent in Iceland is 13. Did you take advantage of the laws in Iceland? Man, I had a great time in Iceland. You just can't give them gifts afterwards, after you're done with them. You can't give them gifts because that will count as trafficking. So he full on admitted that he did what he did in Iceland. Full on admitted to it. Now, a lot of people point to, Corey Holcomb is joking, he's making a joke. But at one point, you teetered the line so much that we got to say, I don't know, bro. I don't know, son. Even how Corey Holcomb talk about young women is disturbing. There was a story on the Corey Holcomb podcast he told about, I think, like a 5-year-old, right? And this story makes me uncomfortable to this day.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth. And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle, as far as it'll go, just sucking on it, walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out her mouth. When they took it out her mouth, that baby said, You know when she stopped crying? When a man picked her up and put her in her lap and started bouncing with it. Then she stopped crying and was looking like this. I said, that's a.
Could you believe that? I think that's a tasteless joke as a grandfather with grandbabies to call a 5-year-old, oh. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, I feel it's just a bad joke that Corey told. What do y'all think? Put that in the comments.
That's a little growing right there. And everybody will say, Corey, what are you talking about? Corey, you crazy. Get the out of here. This little girl was in her bliss with her mouth wide open. She was just, it had the cap on it and everything. They took it out of her mouth. Then a man picked her up and started shaking her on his knee. And she was like, I said, that's a.
Now, that was a terrible joke. That was in my opinion, that was a terrible joke, me sitting here as a grandfather talking about a 5-year-old girl sucking on a bottle. But I don't believe that Corey Holcomb realized that that was just a tasteless joke, and I don't think that Corey Holcomb is a chomo, meaning he's doing nothing with little children. I just think he picked a tasteless joke. But Poetik Flakko did a video. Check out the link in the description below. And he dissected the different jokes that I felt myself, as Flakko did, was tasteless. But I look at them as jokes. Do y'all think these are jokes? Or do y'all think that this is Corey Holcomb? Put it in the comments.
It's just Corey Holcomb crazy. I almost want to go back and ask about that little girl and do a documentary on her life. So one day I can show I know what I'm talking about. But in this society, I'm a bad guy.
Seeing a child suck on their bottle and your mind go to fellatio, you are a disturbed human being. Seeing a child get rocked back and forth to comfort and your mind goes to bedroom positions, you are a disturbed human being. Calling a child a hoe for doing things that kids do is disturbing. You are a disturbed human being. This is not normal.
I think he might just be a comedian that picked a bad joke. Do y'all think that Corey Holcomb just picked a bad joke? I feel he picked a bad joke because I watch Corey Holcomb and I love his content. And I know he pushed the envelope. David Chappelle said a lot of things. Do they call him racist? You know, I mean, you know, there's so many. Cat Williams, you know, say some pushing the line on a lot of things. But do they judge him and dissect what he say? But it's up to y'all to put in the comment if you think the dissection is right and fits Corey Holcomb or not. I don't believe it fit Corey Holcomb. I believe it was just a bad joke. So I'm not just going to run off someone taking a bunch of clips of Corey Holcomb and putting it out there and saying that Corey Holcomb is a chomo. Nah, can't do it.
That ain't nothing no little girl do unless she has the urge to do things like that. She has the urge to be satisfied.
Not funny.
But ain't nobody gonna peep it. Corey bad. Corey bad.
That's how they
Everybody,
looking
Corey,
at
did you hear what Corey said? The little girl took the bottle out of her mouth and he said she gonna be a yes. And if it was more men in the house, the little daughters wouldn't be walking around with things preparing their jaw for hustle. Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler. I like that.
A grown woman is next to...
If it was more men in the house, the little daughters wouldn't be walking around with things preparing their jaw for hustle.
Now, this is a 5-year-old child that he's talking about in a joke. Corey, that was just a tasteless joke. I don't want to put that bone on you. And I don't think y'all should either because you need more than that because this is a comedian. It's the same way like how they taking rappers' lyrics, Little Durk, and take him to trial. Young Thug took his lyrics, took him to trial. Now they taking Corey Holcomb's jokes and condemning them. Do you think they're right for condemning Corey Holcomb for this? Y'all put in the comments, let me know what's going on, man.
Her jaw is being prepared for hustle. And this was a little girl.
Her teeth aren't.
Baby Goobler. I like that.
A grown woman is next to Corey Holcomb participating in this. She says, oh, her teeth not preparing her for fellatio. What? A baby teething makes you think about If you think this is the worst of it, nah, bruh. It gets worse.
Hold up. Like I said, I felt the same way that Poetik Flakko felt when he watched this, but I removed Corey Holcomb from it and looked at it as if someone could actually do this. I mean, we're human. He said a tasteless joke. But Corey, now, that's not funny. You're having a whole conversation about a 5-year-old girl sucking her bottle. Do y'all think that's a good joke to speak about? Certain things should be offline or you know, out of bounds. Like talking about babies and X. Y'all put in the comments, let me know if I'm right or wrong.
Me for real, one day I was living with this lady and her daughters crawled in the bed and I ain't have on shit.
Yeah.
I was up under the cover.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit. And one of her
Tell
daughters
her,
was like,
rest in peace.
her daughter was, she was in high school. I think she was 15. Still not legal. You just can't tell your true thoughts.
What truth?
Now, that sounded crazy. Y'all put in a comment, if you laying in the bed, you butt naked, forget a stepdaughter, even your daughter. Any child tried to get in the bed under the covers with you and you naked, how would you react to that? But like I said, I look at these as jokes, tasteless jokes that a comedian is telling, not that the comedian is the characters of the jokes that he's telling. I may be wrong. Y'all put in the comments, y'all let me know what time it is with that, man. You know how it is, but we like to ride.
Thoughts can you not say about your 15-year-old step? What true thoughts are in your head about your 15-year-old stepdaughter that you can't say? And also, if you were naked under the covers, why did you allow her to crawl up under the covers? Well, wouldn't hey, yo, wait, we about to put on clothes, chill. Wouldn't that have sufficed?
Word.
But Corey Holcomb, when he tells the story, it becomes perfectly clear that he thought there was a possibility, or he thought like she wanted him or something. Like she kept on sending him signs.
Her daughter was gonna be thick like her mama. I know that much.
Yeah.
I knew her daughter was a bust down. She got pregnant like a year after I moved out. She was 16. I knew she was gonna get pregnant, goddamn, because she used to do shit. She used to do shit to let me know, damn, this is a bitch trying to get me in trouble.
Oh.
Her name was Tiffany. Right. All of y'all kids.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Kid pussy, that's the best I'm saying.
See,
did you see that? I mean, Poetik Flakko really went in on this to even dig out these type of tapes, but he's talking about a 15-year-old girl getting in the bed with him, and he knew she was going to be a hoe, and he didn't push her away or pull the covers down to let her know, do not get in this bed. Like I said, I have a 14, 13, 12-year-old granddaughter. And I got upset when I heard this. But I had to remove Corey from it because I know that he's a comedian. That's like you hear a rapper talking about rolling up in the club and, shooting up their ops and, innocent people getting hit. You don't look at it that, this is what they're going to do. This is just what they're making entertainment about. And what Corey did was pick some tasteless entertainment. And then Flakko had this to say.
You heard. Run that back and hear from his mouth again.
Right. All of y'all kids.
Yeah, she has a documentary.
Kid pussy, that's the best I'm saying.
There are some sick dudes out there who will probably excuse this as jokes. Ain't nothing funny about saying a kid woohoo is the best woohoo out here.
And I agree with that, but I'm not going to sit here and give Corey Holcomb the beef that he's a chomo because he picked a tasteless joke. That's like making a rapper that picked a violent verse of unaliving someone and saying that now they're a serial killer because, they spoke about hitting up 9 people. But let Flakko finish.
A kid woohoo is better than an adult woohoo. Because one, how would you know? If you're not somebody who engages, how would you know if you don't engage with children? But it's all jokes, right?
Damn good point. That was a good point, right? Let's see what Corey got to say right here real quick, man. We're going to see what Corey got to say. All right?
Better watch your kids. Some niggas want some type real bad.
Jesus Christ.
Can you get charged if you spoon a child? Get behind him, make him take all his clothes off, and you hug him like that.
I'm
Is that a
pretty
charge?
sure. Yes, Corey, I'm
What is
pretty
that?
sure.
Not no penetration, just
Doesn't have to be penetration. It's so you can't
That's
be.
love.
You can.
Right there. He didn't say if a child take his clothes off, which is still a violation, but he said if you take his clothes off and get behind him and spoon with a child, that's a very tasteless joke, Corey. Corey, that's a tasteless joke. Like I said, I'm a grandfather. I didn't see nothing funny in that. Maybe some people liked it because to each his own. There's millions of people in the world that's watching these videos and watching you, so, but I don't think that was funny. You saying if you take off a little boy's clothes and get behind him, that's not a funny joke. But like I said again, for the record, I'm not calling him or saying that he is his jokes, because he's just a comedian telling his jokes.
Okay, hold
What
on.
if it's a stepchild?
Okay, I don't know where we're going with this, but
I'm just asking. They got these charges. I'm trying to see what the charges gonna be.
the wedding ring.
Somebody called me Corey Kelly because I said spoon.
Oh, good one.
I would never
Or Corey Epstein.
spoon a child. I'm asking what happens if you do it. It's called research.
Who mind goes there? Who mind goes to, yo, bruh, how much time would I get if I just spoon instead of like the full thing? Like if I just spoon, do I get a couple years off my sentence? Why are you thinking about this, bro?
Please keep this piece of tape for future references. I'm telling you now, when they go after me, they get dirt like a
Right there, Corey Holcomb just invited him to come raid his server. Be on the lookout for them raiding his server. And I know you rat bastards say, oh, he's telling. No, I'm just speaking facts. After Poetik Flakko put this out with all of these tasteless jokes, in my opinion, maybe the alphabet boys look at it and don't look at it as tasteless. But in my opinion, after he put that out and he said, oh, if they look into me, they're going to find all kinds of dirt. Was he drinking that day? Who invites them to look into them? Hold up.
I'm here to tell you, if they go through my computer, they're going to be like, Corey, like, what else can I put out there?
Snacks.
I mean, them a big in the child. I'm going to check my browser, goddamn.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That woman is like at a point in her life where she is. It's just nobody likes to say shit like that in America because you can get in trouble for that. Now, I don't want no woman that's 16, 17, 18 because of the laws and because of the mental state she's in. Epstein Island, that'd be a great movie. Yeah. What was happening on Epstein Island?
Had a children. That would be a
So you telling me?
Oh my God, they weren't children. They were.
What the f?
There you go. Now you don't.
What do you mean? I said no, and I said
You wouldn't watch it if it was a movie. It ain't real.
I ain't watching.
That's crazy.
Asking you, would you watch it? No.
Fuck and no. There you go.
Marcus, you won't watch
That's
it.
my got there.
That's ridiculous. He knows what he's doing.
I know he
He's
knows.
one of these
I know
guys.
he knows. Yeah, I know he knows what he's doing.
Corey asked his co-host what he thought was a stumping question, what he thought was a question that was difficult. And that question was, man, what went on Epstein Island? You mean to tell me that if they put out a movie of kids getting effed, you wouldn't watch it? No. No. That's not a hard... No. But in Corey head, that was like a hard question, as if like that was something enticing. No, it's not enticing.
Corey, wish my baby happy 16th birthday. Hell, she ain't yours, so this is easy. She turning sweet 16 Saturday. Hey, what's up? Make sure, hey, look, I don't know her name. Isabella. What is her name? Dita 605? Dita 605? Listen, I want to wish your daughter a happy birthday. Her sweet 16. It's a beautiful age. And you make sure you and your daughter have counseling so that if she's broke, cat daddies like me ain't in that age by the time she's 21 through 30. Because if you don't bring them up right, I'm going to be with them on their birthday. I was at the mall with the little broke. We was in Victoria's Secret.
Hey, yo, hold up. Hold up. Is that crazy? Did you hear that? Corey, that was a tasteless joke, Corey. That's why you have Poetik Flakko and whoever else going at you, because I know you're a comedian. I think you're... Let me give you a round of applause for your comedianism, but not these jokes here. This because, You're normally a very entertaining person. All right, relax, y'all. Let me talk to Corey, man. Let me talk to Corey. Corey, you're a very talented comedian. Just leave the children jokes out of it because that's one too many tasteless jokes. And it's a shame that he went and accumulated them because it's going to make everyone look at you a certain way. It's just, I know you're a comedian and I just know you as a comedian. So whatever you say, I take it as you're trying to make us laugh. And that's it. Or maybe Poetik Flakko will see to something else. I don't know.
Secret. And I'm sitting there at the counter. I'm like, what's up? She needs to get measured for a bra. She never been measured for a bra. And she want to have the right size on instead of the Walmart bras. And the lady was like, oh, that is so sweet. Is this your daughter? I said, I'm standing up in this little bit.
Oh my God.
Did you hear that? Corey, that's a tasteless joke. You're saying that you brought a young lady, 16 years old, to Victoria's Secret to get us a bra because you said you didn't want her wearing Walmart bra no more. And the lady thought it was your daughter, and then all of a sudden now you're talking about you standing up in it? Standing up in it how? That's not funny. At all, that's not funny. Nowhere do I feel that's funny.
And it wasn't a laugh when I said that. It wasn't a laugh. The lady looked like, I was like, I got a couple of dollars. I get to smash look cute young girls like this that come from poverty. I'm standing up in her. Do you need a bra?
That's beyond crazy.
My brother's daughter was with a group of us. We were at the hotel because my mom was in town. Dee, was you there?
Yep, I brought the cake.
I know how to do babies.
It was super cute, though.
Everybody was trying to get her attention, but she wouldn't do nothing but hug her daddy because she didn't know us like that.
It's true.
I didn't pay her no attention. I just kept looking away. But I talk, my voice carries, and she kept looking.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, what happened, D?
She went right to him. It was almost like,
I'm the one wasn't paying her no attention.
And everybody like this, what? Like,
you know what that told me?
What?
Right there, if he would have left it alone and stayed on that line, it would have been all right. But listen to where he go from here.
She gonna be getting put up in her when she grow up.
Some people will excuse this behavior.
Did you hear what that man just said? Flakko, how you look at that?
As edgy comedy, I'm not excusing this, man. I think it's up to Corey to come on this podcast and say, hey, bruh, what I said in the past about them babies is crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. But knowing Corey, bro, he's not about to apologize
Yeah.
for nothing, man. But y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? All right. Is this acceptable or not? And if you're still watching my videos and you want to watch another good video, click on this video.
Yeah, he got some good videos. I watch it myself just to let it be known. But what do y'all think about this, though? I mean, somebody let me know where y'all get this from, because right now it's so hard it's hard for me to comprehend these type of jokes because I have a granddaughter. And I just look at it as tasteless jokes. And I hope that's how y'all looking at it, and don't condemn this man because someone went out and acquired all his maybe not all, got a lot of his tasteless jokes and put them in a compilation. But it paints a very bad picture. There's nothing funny about this.
The age of consent in Iceland is 13. Did you take advantage of the laws in Iceland? Man, I had a great time in Iceland. You just can't give them gifts afterwards, after you're done with them. You can't give them gifts because that will count as trafficking. So he full on admitted that he did what he did in Iceland. Full on admitted to it. Now, a lot of people point to, Corey Holcomb is joking. He's making a joke. But at one point, you teeter the line so much that we got to say, I don't know, bro. I don't know, son. Even how Corey Holcomb talk about young women is disturbing. There was a story on the Corey Holcomb podcast he told about, I think, like a 5-year-old. Right? And this story makes me uncomfortable to this day.
This past weekend, I saw this little girl. She had a Welch's grape juice bottle in her mouth. And she was about 5. She had the whole bottle, as far as it'll go, just sucking on it, walking with her mama. Somebody said, get that out her mouth. When they took it out her mouth, that baby said,
Yo, do y'all think this was tasteless? Put it in the comments. I think it was tasteless. I just had to play it again because I wanted your opinion on it. But we've been on this long enough. Thank y'all for tuning in. Know that don't judge a man or a person just because one person has a gripe with him, because social media is so powerful. The way he painted this picture, the way Poetik Flakko made this video makes anyone in their right mind upset to hear the things that's said. But being that Corey Holcomb is a comedian, I look at it that he was just trying to make a joke. What do y'all think? Put in the comments, subscribe to my own daughter's YouTube channel at Unique Mecca Audio. Go to Unique Mecca Audio, Prison Stories, Mecca Audio TV, Real Boss TT TV for the banging mixtapes and music. And remember,
cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions is a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in hall. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get juice from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. Did not pay attention, would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the night. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You eat back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. Baby horn uptown, Dominican bust down. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now you trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish there. But now it ain't about selling